Welcome to review video number 1, Polynomial Rules. The first talk about polynomials, we're going to talk about adding polynomials. We're just going to combine our like terms. Do not touch the exponents. So 3x squared plus negative 6x squared equals negative 3x squared. Notice I just took care of the coefficients, not the variable or the exponent. When I'm subtracting, we're going to combine like terms again. Do not touch the, let's fill it in, exponents. So now let's talk about multiplying. When we're multiplying polynomials, it's a little different. We're going to multiply the coefficient and add the exponent. So 3x squared times negative 6x squared is negative 18x to the fourth. Notice that I added the 2 plus the 2 to give me the 4, and that is when we are multiplying. When we're dividing polynomials, once again we have a blank, so we're going to fill it in. We are going to divide the coefficients and subtract the exponents. So plug in divide. We're going to divide the coefficients and subtract the exponents. So let's put this to practice. We're going to do multiplying polynomial multiplication using the box method. Place the binomials, each 2 terms, and the trinomials, and each 3 terms in the outside of the box. And that's what I did right here. So I put my binomial on the left-hand side, I put my trinomial up the top, and then I multiply it in. So 4x times 2x squared gives me 8x to the third. 4x times negative 4x gives me negative 16x squared. 4x times negative 2 gives me a negative 8x. On the bottom now, 5 times 2x squared gives me 10x squared. 5 times negative 4 gives me a negative 20x. And then 5 times negative 2 gives me the negative 10. What's nice about this is if you do it correctly and you have everything set up fine, your kitty corners should match up. And then I say, well, how do you remember what to do? Well, doesn't this look like a plus sign? All you have to do is combine your like terms. So there's nothing there for 8x cubed to add to, so I'm just going to write him down, 8x cubed. 10x minus 16x is going to give me a negative 6x squared. Negative 20x minus 8x is going to give me a negative 28x. And negative 10 comes down. The second part of the review is when the directions say to factor, what should we do? Well, the first one that we're going to talk about is GCF. When we're talking about the GCF, the greatest common factor, what we're looking at is in this binomial, we're going to divide each term by the biggest. That's what's going to go in first, is the biggest monomial possible and place it in front. The second one is dots. You've heard of it as DOPS, D-O-P-S, difference of perfect squares. What we do there is find the square root of each part of the term and fill in with one plus sign and with one minus sign. So it's one part of the binomial. The second method we did not talk about this year. We did not talk about the AC method, so we can put an X right through that. We use the box method for everything. We use the box method for all types of factoring of trinomial, and I will refresh that right now with you. So the first part with the X box method is that you draw your X. Remember, this is just a tool. There's many ways that we can utilize this. AC goes on the top, so that's negative 24. And what I did there was I just multiplied my A value times my C. And in the bottom goes my B, so negative B, which is negative 2. Sorry. On the wings goes whatever multiplies to negative 24 and adds or subtracts to negative 2, which is going to be in this case 6 and 4. Because I have a negative sign down below, my bigger number gets the negative sign, my little number gets the plus. The second step is to rewrite everything. So I'm going to have x squared minus 6x plus 4x minus 24. Notice that this negative 6 and this positive 4 is just another way of saying this negative 2. Go ahead and group them into your families. And I take the GCF of both. GCF of the first guy is x. So put the x out front, write your leftovers off inside. And I have x minus 6 as my leftovers. GCF of the back guy, 4. I'm going to have a 4 left. I'm going to have x minus 6. Bada bing, bada boom. Notice that my parentheses are the same. So I'm good. What do I have left over? I have x plus 4 left over. And x minus 6 inside. And now I just factored. You're going to use the same method, whether it is a trinomial with no number out front, or if I have a problem like this, 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. Notice the difference. I have an a value of a 2. You're still going to use this Xbox tool. That's why we use this method this year, is because it's one method for all types of factoring. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is graphing. How can I figure out these values down here, your factors, by using graphing? Well, you could put the problem into y equals, change the variables to x if you need to, and then find where it hits the x-axis. Once you find out where it hits the x-axis, you have to remember to change the signs. Change the signs. So what does that mean? Well, in your calculator, if you typed in x squared plus 3x plus 2, it's going to say that it hits at 1 and 2. So the factors are negative 1 and negative 2. So if you see positive 1, you write down inside your factors negative 1. If you see a positive 2, you write down inside your factors negative 2. And notice all I did was the signs change for that. That's review topic number 1, polynomials.